Hey YouTube. So we're here to talk about the Altima. It's not dead yet. But after I last took it in to get to the dealership to get them to look at the entire car and figure out why it was shaking before we realized it was the tires. And I know people said, oh, it was probably a bad rim, but I swapped the front rims to the back and forth before I bought the tires after the Century tires, and it didn't help. It was once the bare rims were put on the car that it helped. But anyway, I took it to a local dealership, Zimbrick Nissan, and asked them to do a multi-point inspection on the car. Been to this dealership before. Most people don't trust dealerships. I understand that. I don't either. I always, double check what they look at or talk about. But in this time, in all fairness, they're pretty solid with me. They worked with me. Pretty nice guys. So they gave me an automobile status report. It's not just that one sheet you usually get, but we're gonna go through it. Now the car currently has 216,000 miles. First sheet. This is what you normally get when you do an oil change or do any kind of inspection. It breaks down everything in your car and gives you green, good, yellow, might require future maintenance, red means something's wrong now. They put 3 things in the red out of everything for me, and they told me that out of these 3 things, only one of them is a need right now. But they're honest with me. So first of all, interior, everything's in the green. Remember, this is a 2013 Altima with 216,000 miles. Shock absorber was the first thing in red. Muffler, exhaust pipes, mountings was the second thing in red. And transmission was the third thing in red. Under the hood, everything was solid. Battery solid. Tires basically brand new. And the brakes were brand new. So we're gonna go through, they actually not only give you this, they give you a couple more pages of what exactly they're talking about with photos. So the first thing they said that the car needed was transmission. They scanned it, it had a it has a P0420 code, which is this, blanking right now, catalytic converter. And then it had another P0741, something with it's a CVT judder code, I mentioned it before, but just based on CVT judder, there's gonna be 2 codes. One of them is a valve body that can get fixed. I have the other option. I think it's one ending in 1, which means that the car's transmission is totally shot. It's called the CVT judder code for Nissans. So the first thing it would need is, of course, is transmission. So they put down, it needs a transmission. They also put down for the transmission, you need a transmission reprogram and a alignment once the transmission is installed. We'll talk about prices at the end. Second thing it needed, they said that this is not really a need right now, but it's something they noticed. The front driver's side strut is leaking. I installed these struts at 155,000 miles. These are the Nissan dealership OEM struts. I did not go aftermarket. I went with Nissan because the first set got me 155,000 miles. The second set got me 60,000 miles. But it is starting to leak. I don't notice any driving changes or anything when I'm driving. It doesn't shake, it doesn't vibrate, it doesn't clunk, nothing. She's still solid, and they told me it still drives solid. We wouldn't replace it now, but just in the future, keep an eye on it. Second thing, the front flex pipe is leaking. Now, it's not a normal flex pipe like regular cars where there is that mesh flex pipe where it can flex. Nissan's is a weird design. Let me fold this in half for you guys so you guys can see this. Nissan's is a weird design. Let me turn the camera up. I love the GoPro Hero 9 since it has the front screen. This is what it looks like. It is a flat rectangular pipe. So it goes exhaust manifold down, rectangular pipe, and then down the rest of the exhaust, all the pipe into the resonator and stuff. But it looks like this. It's a flat pipe, and see that charred section? That's where the guy's finger is. That's where the crack is. It's like a 3-inch crack down the line. I knew it was there. I don't really notice it because the muffler is loud. But if you stick your head under the car while it's running, you will hear it, especially if you rev it. So that's cracked. And then the hangers, the rubber bushings for the hangers at the end of the exhaust, as a dual exhaust coming down, are all jacked up. Now, this is not from the installation. I have a muffler delete on the Altima. If you follow my channel, you know that. When I got in a car accident, I got rear-ended. it kind of pushed the two exhaust pipes from each side. The dealership, by 3 months in, they didn't even touch it. I just got pissed, so I kind of bent it back in place. But it is like fighting for its life. I don't know if you can see that. It's fighting for its life, those rubber bushings, to stay on. And the way it got kind of kinked, you can't just replace I can't just put a new bushing in there. A new bushing won't go in because the hanger is still bent out of place. And since I got the muffler, okay, so when you initially install, or the initial mufflers in the Altima, if you ever look down there, are the muffler, and then the pipe coming out of it, and the pipe coming down the car, they match up together. The muffler pipe is a little bit bigger, so it kind of just like, it kind of just goes over it. This is very sus, but yeah, the smaller pipe coming down the sides of the car, dual exhaust come down, and the muffler pipe is ever so slightly bigger so they can slide onto each other, and then there's just a bolt that clamps it down. When I had the dual exhaust put on, they just welded the pipes to these regular pipes. So they took off the muffler and they just welded two pipes. Now, that's the way I wanted it done. The problem is that the dealership won't touch that. They said that they have to replace the entire catback exhaust. He also said this because it'll include the flex pipe. But basically the catback exhaust needs to get replaced, the entire thing. So that's the third thing. Now for pricing. This is the repair estimate they gave me. Quick breakdown. The alignment, the first thing we mentioned, is $100. Once you do the transmission, you need an alignment, it's $100. Transmission reprogram, $155. Again, nothing serious. Transmission replacement is $4,671. Sounds like a lot because it is a lot. But most cars, like if you blew your transmission in your Malibu or your Tahoe or your Ford or whatever it is, they will cost between the $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 range. I understand that. It is not an old car, but it is an older car, so I'm sure I can go to the junkyard and pull a trans for it. But with an Altima, knowing all these have trans issues, I would super shy away from doing that, because if a car, you don't know what the history of that transmission is. You don't want to either install it and find out it's shot, or put it in, drive a little bit, 10,000 miles later, she's gone. This car's not worth it. No Altima is to pull a used trans from the junkyard, to me at least. The left front strut alone is $563, which is on par with what they charged the first time. A couple years ago, I paid $1,000 for both of them, so $500 for one of them. I would replace both of them at the same time, so it's not $1,000, but we're just gonna call it the $500 they said. The front flex tube is $649. The front flex pipe. The entire catback exhaust due to the muffler delete and hangers are $2,188. Technically it's $2,600 or $700, but he minus the flex pipe because he put the flex pipe separate. He said if we're gonna do the bottom, the $2,000 job, he said we're gonna also do the flex pipe, so he separated the costs just in case I didn't want to do the flex pipe by itself, but not the rest of the muffler. So basically like a $2,800 job. Total $8,237 before tax. Shop charges are only $9, and tax is $458. So total is $8,795, and this is without fixing the P0420 code, which is the catalytic converter, which is the entire exhaust manifold, which is $1,000. That got quoted by two shops. $1,000. A side shop quoted me like $600, but a lot of people are saying don't install aftermarket like Amazon, eBay exhaust manifolds, those cheap catalytic converters, just go OEM. And the price difference is not that bad. I would go OEM if I were to fix it. Now here's the update on whether I'm going to do with the Altima or whether I'm going to fix the Altima. No, I'm not paying 10 grand damn near to fix the Altima. It's at 216,000 miles. It's still driving. It's still running. Now that there's no shake, which is the big issue we had because it's annoying and I felt like the wheel was going to rip off. I'm going to keep driving it. Well, my family is, because currently I'm running tests on the Scion. Oil burning tests. Check out those videos. But for now, the Altima, I'm not going to fix it. I'm going to keep driving it. It's at 216,000 miles. It's 30 If you carry the one that's 34,000 miles away from hitting $250,000, and it's a ticking time bomb. I really don't notice anything wrong with the transmission slipping or whatever it is, saying CVT judder. The only time I notice it does something weird is when you put it in sport mode. Then it jerks and shudders and does some weird shit. But if you drive it, even if you floor it, even if you beat on it like I do, and I beat on this car, you don't notice anything. She drives fine. So I'm gonna keep driving it. I'm gonna keep giving you guys, updates here and there on the car. If it dies tomorrow, tough shit. It's not worth a lot of money trading it in. I'm not gonna sell a private party knowing the issues it has, because I don't know. If the transmission explodes tomorrow and I sold it to you for a couple grand, I would feel bad. I like money, but I'm not gonna be a piece of shit about it. I would put myself in those shoes. If I'm buying a $2,000-3,000 car and it explodes the next day, that sucks. So I'm not gonna sell it. Trade in, because fuck the dealerships. They're gonna make their money on it anyway. They probably honestly offer me $500 with those codes that won't go off just the P0420 code. Just the catalytic converter code alone fucks the car over. On top of its history and high miles, I'm not gonna get anything for it. I'd say $500 and they'd go sell. They'd send it to auction and probably get a couple grand, but then you're back at the whole thing where somebody bought it and it's gonna be shit and whatever. So I'm gonna drive it till it tells me no, till I can't drive it anymore. Whether that's tomorrow, whether that's in a month, whether that's in a year, I don't know. But it's not worth it to me to trade it in or to sell it. If I get another year out of it, if I get another 10,000 miles, the more I get out of it, the better it is. The more money back in my pocket. For buying a car in this crap car market. But if it died tomorrow, I wouldn't be mad. This transmission, it either got replaced at 41 or 44,000. I can't remember, but it's the same transmission since. So that means it has 170 some thousand miles on that transmission. I've done religiously. I've done fluid swaps every 30,000, which is the only thing. Shout out to this dealership. They didn't charge me for the inspection. They kept the car for 4 days working on it. I don't know how long total they worked on it, but they went over it 3 times at least. They only charged me $239 to do the transmission fluid swap and stuff. It's not bad. I'm not gonna complain about that. It had 29,000 miles on it since the last transmission fluid exchange, so to me it was worth it. But yeah, this is where the Altima is now. I'm gonna keep driving it. I'm gonna keep giving you guys updates on it, and if it dies, it dies. If it doesn't die and keeps going, good shit. Check out my Scion videos. That Scion has some issues. We're trying to figure out the issues one by one. Jeep's still running solid. I guess that's also my fleet update. But yeah, subscribe. The Nissan Altima videos do pretty solid on my channel. So just wanted to give you guys an update. We hopefully will make it to 250,000 miles. I'd like to see that. I know it's not a big milestone for a lot of people, but for a 2013 Altima to the 2.5, that's a huge milestone. If you guys have any more questions, leave them in the comments. I try to reply as quick and as efficient as I can, with as much information as I can. But I'm gonna go get some pizza. Thanks for watching.